Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to Trading with JP. I'm JP, and in today's video, I'm going to show you a really cool resource that I use that helps me identify new crypto markets that I may potentially want to enter. We're going to choose a couple of those at random and then look at the charts and give you a behind the scenes kind of tutorial on what different TA standards I'm looking for to decide whether or not I want to invest into that particular cryptocurrency. But before we dive into the charts, do me a favor, smash that like button. It really does help me out to make sure that my videos are seen all over YouTube, and be sure to subscribe to the channel to make sure that you don't miss any other future videos. All right, now that the business is all out of the way, let's go ahead and dive into it. All right, welcome back to the video, guys. So as you can see from the screen, one of the cool resources that I use is actually cryptobubbles.net. And so for me, this is just a really cool visualization that I can use to kind of give me an idea of what's having a really good week, what's having a really bad week. That way I'm not jumping into individual charts and I can just see a whole bunch of coins. So like right now I'm looking at the top 100 coins and I can see that, you know, these big bubbles, Avalanche, Hex, One, you know, Ami, Cake, you know, Gala is having a really bad, you know, whatever the case may be. So like I said, this is a really good visualization for me to just kind of say, hey, I'm not really sure maybe what I should invest in. And rather than going and looking at a whole bunch of random charts, this could give me a good opportunity. So say, for example, like Avalanche, you know, it's had a 34.6% run for the week. It's up 15.4 for the month, and you can see that it's had a huge 3,600% gain over the course of the year, right? So Avalanche may potentially be something that I want to look at if this, you know, if this can increase, you know, and say, you know, that run, if I can continue to keep going on that run, that may be a really good opportunity to invest. So if I continue to kind of just keep showing you this, so right now we're looking at the top 100. You can see that you can actually change that if you want. You can also go up here and look at the total market cap plus the week. So this is going to change. The bubbles are around a little bit. So Bitcoin is obviously the largest, followed by Ethereum, just because Bitcoin has the largest market cap, followed by Ethereum, exactly how you can see here. So market cap, you know, 883 bill versus Ethereum 467. Man, that gap seems to be getting more and more close. What's that magic word? The flippeting. Is it going to happen? Who knows? Who knows? But I guarantee Ethereum and Bitcoin are going to be around regardless of what happens. But I really like to look at the week, like I said, just to kind of give me a good understanding of what went on last week for, you know, some certain coins that maybe I'm not invested in yet. And rather than going and just kind of randomly looking at charts, this gives me a pretty good idea. So, you know, we can see Solana is up 6.7% for the week. You know, maybe that we could be at the very beginning of a run there, or we may want to try something like Avalanche, where it's already had a really good run and we might be able to continue to keep going on that train. So let's go ahead and actually switch over to TradingView. And let's go ahead and pull up Avalanche and let's kind of take a look at it. So Avalanche US dollar. So I'm going to go ahead and just remove all of the drawings here. Well, let me see if actually maybe FTX has a little bit more. No, they have even less information. Let's see here. Binance. Yeah, Binance has a little bit more information on here, so that might be a little bit better of a place. So if you use TradingView, that's one thing that you might want to do is, you know, look at different exchanges because, you know, when I first started using this, you know, I would always like look at Coinbase and then realize that I wasn't necessarily seeing the full picture because they didn't have as much data because maybe other exchanges had listed the particular cryptocurrency before Coinbase did. So immediately what kind of stands at me, so let's go ahead and look at the 1 year chart. So here we can obviously that it's been on a really big run. If we take a look here at this low point, so December 14th, today's December 18th, so close to 7 days, and we can see that it's had that big run up right now. So let's see here from a TA perspective. You know, let's say, let's go ahead, you know, and use our fib extension retracement and maybe do something, you know, from here to here down if this is going to be our support line. So you can see that we're coming up on the point 0.5 line. So the potential to get to $120 could be very easy. Even potentially looking at the 0.618 level. So $130 I definitely don't think is out of line. But let's go ahead and take that off for a second and just kind of explain a little bit more of what I am actually seeing. So the first thing that I'm looking at is, so we are in an uptrend, all right, and we had let's see here, all right, so we had an impulse right here, and then we had a sell-off, a little bit of a sell-off or a correction, and then that impulse came, another impulse, and we ended up breaking a new high. So that's definitely a good sign. And then we saw that correction again. Now we have a higher low. So we are definitely in a bull market. And now what we're looking for are continuation patterns. So now we've had another really big run up. So we're 1, 2, 3 potential runs at this point. We kind of had a little bit of a sell-off here. I would say count this as an entire part of it. So again, we still have higher highs and creating higher lows. And so now we are getting ready to run up. If I'm taking a look, zoom in here maybe a little bit for you. So if we're looking at this particular part of what's happening, without using Fibonacci or anything like that, just kind of looking at naked trading, if you will. Let's get a horizontal line. And so after this sell-off, we were down to right here. This well, actually I counted that as the whole. So right now, I mean, really what we're looking for is we want to break past this new kind of all-time high. So what I may be looking for is for this to test this area to see if it indeed continues to keep going to 134. From there, I may actually go ahead and use my Fibonacci extension to find out exactly how high it may go. So let's actually go ahead and do that real fast. If we go from here to our high down to our low. So right here, if we take it at this 100% level, we would be looking at about $158. So if it's at 114 right now, could be going to 158 to be a little bit safer, to make sure that we don't see a reversal trend and see something going down like this, where now all of a sudden we have a lower high and lower lows. That is definitely what we don't want to see. So from right now, I'm a little bit hesitant to maybe potentially enter until we actually break across maybe at least this 128 level. I would say, if it gets to $130, I may potentially buy, and then my stop, or my take profit would probably be at 158, potentially somewhere all the way up to 189, depending upon how aggressive I want to be. So pretty much if we were to take this line right here and duplicate this, oops, I want that one. No, still can't. I need the line. There we go. So, and if we take this, and so where the price is running from that low, you can see this is where you're getting 100%. You had 100% run, identical run to the previous one. So that's where we're kind of coming up with those different points of interest. This would be 61% of the gain, but unfortunately, because we only got to that level, we would have a lower high, and that could be potentially signaling a market reversal. So right now, let's kind of clear this up a little bit again for you. So taking a look at some of the indicators, we've got the MACD right now. We can see that we really just came off a big wave of selling pressure, and that correlation had this, kind of correction or the sell-off right here. But we have crossed over. We're back into the green. If we were to have, again, this, longer type run, I do think that we probably have momentum on our side. I think that there's a really good chance that this is going to continue to keep going. Like I said, I think for me to enter with my rules, I would want to see, make sure that the price actually gets back to about 130, 134, to make sure that we're not going to create some type of pattern that potentially could result in a reversal. You know, and like I said, that would be if the price actually continues to keep going down and we break below this $79 mark. So that would be kind of a worst case scenario. Best case scenario, we're looking at somewhere between 158 and 189. And let's go ahead, you know, just say if we were to do a long position, let's say over the course of the next couple of days or so, it ends up getting to let's say about, you know, $130. And if I had, so that actually worked out pretty well. So if I do a 1-to-1 risk to reward, I buy it at 130, I sell it at 150, I sell it at 158. That's going to be a 21.69% gain. So I mean that's definitely a pretty good gain. We would be looking at setting a stop loss of you know, setting a stop loss here of about 101 or so. So that's kind of what I would be looking at for Avalanche. I think that there's probably a pretty good opportunity here for Avalanche to continue this run. You know, I would want to see signs of a continuation pattern. And so again, that's what I'm waiting for right now, of why I wouldn't be entering necessarily at this position right now. What I would want to see is us break through some of these resistance lines, make sure that we're not even necessarily creating a double top, and you know, the selling pressure or the buying pressure continues to show that momentum increase that we could get all the way up to 158. So for me, Avalanche, I probably want to see the price go up a little bit more. I'm willing to sacrifice some margin, or you know, some gains on my percentage, or my percentage gains, by waiting to make sure that I have a little bit better understanding of the market, because right now, you know, looking at this run, you know, we could be potentially having some type of reversal pattern. So, you know, if we, you know, typically we kind of have, you know, our impulse or retracement, and then, you know, another run. This is wave 3, wave 4, wave 5, and then now you start seeing it come back down. So we could potentially see that happening. But right now, like I said, with momentum, it seems to be on its side. The RSI, I mean, it's at about 58 right now. So I mean, it could definitely go either way. We can see here that, so you know, it started to go down, and now the price is starting to go up. Plus we have this swing going up this way, and we've already seen this swing going up here in the charts as well. So from that indication, I mean, I definitely think that there is a pretty good opportunity. I think, you know, for me, my rules to be a little bit more safe, make sure that, you know, something doesn't happen. Again, I would probably want to make sure that we get up to this $134 mark. I would end up setting my take profit at 158. And that's what I would be looking at Avalanche. And so, you know, again, this is something that I probably would not have looked at had it not been for crypto bubbles. You know, so let's actually, you know, do one more to kind of give you an idea, but let's do something that's maybe actually having a sell-off right now. So let's go ahead and, you know, do something like Gala. I know Gala is really new, so it's going to be hard to look at it from the daily perspective. But let's go ahead and kind of see what we got. So just to kind of give us an idea, it's up 2% for the day. It's down 17.3% for the week, but it's up 118% for the month. So this could be potentially a healthy correction that's coming. And you know, that's exactly what we want. We want to buy at that low point, right, at that correction. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. So Gala USD. And, you know, let's see here, Binance. Yeah, that's probably about all the information I'm going to get, huh? Well, that's on the daily. Let's see if anybody else has anything. So Coinbase doesn't have anything. FTX, about the same. I don't want to look at those. All right, yeah, let's go ahead and stay with Binance. All right, so right now, you know, right off the bat, so here we can see that we've had, you know, a sell-off. We can see, you know, the sell-off, those lines. I really want to start seeing that smoothing out. So quite honestly, right off the bat, I would predict that this price is going to keep going down until we start seeing this, you know, rounding out a little bit and going back into the green. So I do think probably in the short term anyways, there's a good chance that Gala is going to continue to keep going down. But this would be something that I definitely want to watch and pay attention to. So
If I zoom in here a little bit, I mean, gosh, look at that. I mean, it definitely looks like it's creating a floor. I mean, God, look at how many of these bodies. Uh, Look at how many of these bodies are. I clicked the wrong line, but um, are hitting that line. So I mean, it came down and then they pushed it back up, but then they sold, pushed it back down. They came back up. They pushed it back down. Came back up. They pushed it back down. They pushed it back down. They came up and they pushed it back down. So I mean, there's been this constant wave right here of about this 46 cent mark. So that if that were to continue over the next couple days, that we could potentially see that round out. We could end up having some type of wick, but what I would be looking for here is to go ahead and see some type of increase. Let's say that the price kind of goes like this for the next week, which makes this go down like that, and then we start seeing a little bit more of an up run, which is going to make this go like that. And now all of a sudden where the price is above the 20-day moving average. And so for me, that's going to be one of my conditions to enter the market is I always want that to be above the 20-day moving average. And then that way I can kind of continue the run that it's already having for my profit levels. So let's go ahead and reset or remove all of these drawings and get an idea. So right now we're looking at in my opinion, wave one. Here's our correction. We could see, let's say that maybe the price gets all the way back down to about this level, about the 36 cent level. So use our fib extension tracement here down to this level here. So we could be potentially looking at something like that if the price continues to keep going down just a little bit. We could be potentially seeing something like the 35 mark. Again, right now we're at about 46 mark. That's me being a little bit more conservative. It does definitely look like we're getting a lot of support, but we did break that support line over the last couple of days. Right now we're in a positive day, so we could see that price go up, but there's a good chance that we see this sell-off continue to keep running a little bit. So that's again, you want to look at both sides of it. We're looking at our indicators right now. We're not necessarily seeing any sort of pattern going up. If we have one bad day of selling pressure, that price could all come all the way down here to the $35 in a matter of a snap. So right now the indicators are showing me that more than likely the price of GALA is going to keep going down, but from a technical analysis standpoint, I would say 35, 36 cents would probably be a pretty good chance. And then if that were the floor, of course we would have to kind of go through these different resistance levels. But ultimately, let's say we had 100% of the run that was of the previous run, we could be looking at $1.02 or so. And gosh, let's if we take this line again and duplicate it and kind of continue that same run, and let's say from right here, gosh, this is saying, potentially by, the January 4th of 2022, right? So that's, only, about 3 weeks away that, if this correction is over, this correction down here is almost towards its end, and maybe we only have, another, say 3 to 7 days before it starts actually going up again. We're going to break over that 20-day moving average. So my guess is that my target entry is going to be somewhere around this level, maybe right around here, this point 53, 54 cent mark. And let's say you could do the whole swing trade method and try to sell off at some of these resistance levels and rebuy in. But let's say you just went ahead and holded all the way until we got to this 102 cent mark, and then our stop loss we would want just a little bit below our 0% level, so the 35. So let's go ahead and take it to 34. So we are looking at a risk to reward ratio of 2.53. and ultimately we could be looking at a 91.52% gain. Holy smoke. So almost doubling your money with Gala, going from 46 cents to a $1.02. So well, again, where we would be buying in actually here at 53 and selling at a $1.02. So that's why we're a little bit under 100%. But all in all, things look pretty good for Gala. So you know, this may be something from a technical analysis standpoint. I think that it looks pretty good. Now that I have things set up, I would want to watch it over the next couple days and see, you know, hey, were my predictions right? Is the price doing what I thought it was going to do? And continue to keep watching it, and then say, you know, as we get to you know, December 27th, if the price has indeed gone up, it's over that 20-day moving average, that's when I would go ahead and place my position, and then probably just let it sit for, you know, the next couple weeks, or, you know, whatever, until we get up to that $102 mark, or I'm sorry, the $1.02 mark. Maybe even sell it at $1 just to kind of be safe from a psychological standpoint. But all in all, that's what I'm seeing. Again, this is cryptobubbles.net. So this is, again, one of the really cool resources that I use to just really help me give me a good visualization of what opportunities I may want to go explore to help make sure that I diversify my portfolio a little bit. And, you know, if Bitcoin and Ethereum, I just sold my positions, I don't want to buy right back into them. I want to wait for that next correction. And so I got to go into something else. And so, again, it can be really time consuming to go through each individual chart manually. So cryptobubbles.net is, again, kind of just a fun way for me to go and log in and say, hey, what's working over the course of the week? What's having some selling pressure? Because selling pressure creates opportunity. So, but again, I would not buy just based off of like, oh, Avalanche 36.5% for the week. It must be going to 70 by next week. Let's go ahead and buy. Like, make sure that you use TradingView, make sure that you chart things out, make sure that you do some TA, hell, maybe even do some fundamental analysis and do some research on it just to make sure. Because, you know, again, Gala, you know, this is it's ranked number 46. You know, I mean, that's definitely not too bad. I typically like to stay maybe more within the top 25. But, you know, Gala has also been moving its way up in the ranks, and gosh, you know, I mean, who knows, within the next 6 months, maybe Gala's, you know, in the top 10. So, we really just have to do our best analysis to figure out exactly what we want to do, and ultimately make sure that we feel comfortable entering in that trade. And worst case scenario, if we lost money, we would be okay with it, because we at least did our due diligence and we followed our rules, we followed our conditions, and we know that we take losses every once in a while. Not, you know, it's pretty much impossible to get 100% win opportunities every single time, unless if you're just not using stop losses and you decide, oh, I was completely wrong about the price, so now I'm just going to hold it until the price gets back there, and you start being a little bit wishful that one day it may get back there. So, I mean, I don't know if I would say 9 out of 10 times it gets back up there, especially, you know, if you're dealing with some of the top threes, you know, something like that. But you, at the end of the day, you never know. So sometimes it's easier to swallow a 5% loss instead of watching your account crash, you know, by 60% or something like that, and then being able to not sell and be able to hold and wait for it to come back. So guys, this is the video. Avalanche, Gala were the two that we took a look at. Again, I think that they're both presenting some pretty good buying opportunities. Gala could even be looking at 100% gain over the next couple of weeks. Avalanche, I believe we said that we were looking at a close to maybe a 20% gain from the charts. And then again, cryptobubbles.net, if you're not using this, check them out. It's like I said, a pretty cool resource just to give you a good visualization of what you might want to invest in. All right, guys, that's the video. Thanks so much for checking in. If you haven't already, do me a favor, smash that like button and be sure to subscribe to the channel. Can't wait to talk to you guys next time. All right, thanks. Bye.